Another voice piped up, high and determined. It was Illa, the smallest Mehru, whose fur sparkled like frost. "We helped with sharing food," she said firmly. "We help again." "Because that's what friends do." The cubs gathered into a circle. "What do we have?" asked Tiv. "What do cubs always have?" Roma's eyes widened. "Roti supplies." It sounded ridiculous, impossible, but in the SUS HFY universe, humanity always finds a way. And so do those who stand beside them. They tore back to their habitat dome, flinging open cupboards and scattering flower clouds across the room. Someone spilled spice jars. Someone tripped into a bowl of potatoes. Someone squeaked, "Hot, hot, hot," holding a pan with bare paws. But clumsiness didn't matter. Determination lit every eye. The plan nobody should try. Mehru cubs were mischievous, inventive, and deeply uninterested in waiting for adult permission. Their brains had one thought and one thought only: save Aisha. The adults built sensor arrays and emergency nets. The cubs built something else: a glider crafted from vine weave, a thermal balloon powered by steam condensation, a launch ramp made from crates and very questionable physics, and strapped to its belly, baskets of freshly made potato rotis. Romy clapped his paws. "We give her a soft landing snack." Tiv whacked him on the head. "Not snack, fuel, patch, glue, comfort." Humans fix everything with roti, and honestly, that wasn't far from the truth. Rocket Roti. The cubs hauled their contraption to a cliff ledge overlooking the projected crash zone. Even the adults stopped, stunned at what they saw. 12 tiny aliens pulling a giant homemade flying machine loaded with bread. One elder blinked. "They're going to throw food at a starship?" "They've been spending too much time with humans," another muttered, not unkindly. But it was too late to stop them. Tiv leapt into the pilot's seat, a saddle padded with leaves. Romy shoved the last basket aboard. Illa cinched the straps tight with her teeth. "Ready?" Tiv squeaked. "We were born ready." The cub pack roared. Romy rammed the release lever. Humph! The glider catapulted off the ramp, wobbling, tilting, nearly flipping, but somehow leveling out as the wind caught its makeshift wings. Below, the damaged shuttle streaked through the air, shedding metal and fire. "Steady," Tiv whispered, ears flattening. The cubs took aim. The drop, the burning shuttle screamed overhead. "Now!" Tiv shouted. Cubs shoved baskets overboard one by one. Rotis tumbled and streamed through the air, the scent of cumin and butter trailing behind like a food comet tail. The first roti splattered on the hull and stuck. Then hundreds followed, covering scorched metal plates like sticky edible patches. Flour puffed. Potatoes smeared. Steam sizzled. Inside the cockpit, Aisha stared at her screen in disbelief. "Is my ship being attacked by flatbread?" Warning messages blinked, then, to everyone's astonishment, stabilized. "Heat shield breach. Seal temperature DROP within safe range," Aisha gasped. "Are the rotis insulating me?" Yes, they were. Half-burned dough, baked into the cracks, sealing atmospheric leaks like a culinary miracle. Sticky potato mash thickened into a cooling barrier. Bread plaster fused under heat until it formed a temporary heat skin. Human engineers would later swear this should not have worked. But in SUS HFY reality, love plus flour plus potatoes equals stronger than physics when friends are in danger. Touchdown and tears. The shuttle slowed from firestorm to glide, skidding in the soft moss fields. Sparks sprayed. Metal screeched. Smoke curled. And when it came to rest, Aisha shoved the hatch open. She staggered out soot-streaked, coughing, and wrapped in the smell of toasted bread. Waiting for her were 12 trembling cubs. "Auntie Aisha!" They cried and tackled her in a furry swarm. She knelt, arms full of warm bodies, eyes glistening. "You cough saved me," she wheezed, "using roti." Romy puffed his fur proudly. "Human food strong." Tiv thumped his chest. "Human food smart." Illa hugged Aisha's leg with all her strength. "Human food means family." Aisha laughed, half sob, half joy. "Then I'll never travel without roti again." Aftermath. The legend of roti armor. That night, around a campfire, engineers studied the ship. Baked on its hull like golden scales were hundreds of charred potato rotis. "Better than emergency heat foam," one human muttered. "Crispier too," a Mehru adult noted thoughtfully. Word spread and spread. By sunrise, The Alliance Engineering Network had already requested technical research documentation, Roti-based thermal ablation shield. The Cubs were invited to speak, in many chirps and wiggly tail motions, at the Galactic Food Science Symposium. A new proverb circulated among starfarers: carry a toolkit, carry a medkit, and always carry Roti. Space crews began storing flour and potatoes next to fuel. And ship vendors added a new button on emergency panels: break in case of crisis gives deploy Roti. Epilogue: humanity finds a way. Years later, ship captains would tell the story to new recruits. How a pack of alien cubs saved a human scientist with nothing but courage, friendship, and potato Roti. And every listener would laugh and believe it. Because in this galaxy, humanity's greatest strength wasn't weapons or ships or brilliance. It was bread shared instead of bullets, kindness offered instead of fear, and aliens brave enough to join them. Humanity wins. Cubs win. Everyone eats.